So you came across Framer and you started playing around with forms, but you realized that you cannot do a bunch of things. You cannot do multi-step forms, you cannot do file uploads, and you're also limited in terms of submissions. Now, in this video, I'm going to show you an impressive alternative, which is also free, which is called Tally. So in this video, we're going to be building this little website right here with Framer and with the use of Tally. As you can see, it has a little button in the center. You can click that, start, and then as you can see, you have a form experience right on your Framer website where you can fill out this form really quickly. And I'm just gonna, okay, so this is not an email. Then you can click next and you can see it's multi-step. You can also have conditional inputs here and a whole bunch of things. We're gonna talk about all that in this video. And then you also have the file upload. And at the end, you have the little success message that will be in touch soon. So yeah, in this video, we're gonna be building this together. So yeah, my name is Nandi. This is Framer University and let's get started. So as you can see, we are right inside of Framer, and what we're going to do here is we're going to just build a simple base. But before we do that, go down to the description and click the remix link for this project, so you can just follow along with me and just build this little Framer website with this cool form with me. So if you remix the file on the left, you're going to see this starter page. Just go there, you're going to see the same thing that I'm seeing here, and you can just start building with me. So it's going to be super simple. We just have two elements waiting for us right here. One of them is a logo, and the other one is this cool like 3D rotating circle sphere button, which was inspired by the open purpose website. I'm not going to show how I made this because that's not the point of this video, but if you want to see that, just comment something and I'm going to make a tutorial on that. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to grab this little logo first. We're going to put it here on our website. And then I'm just going to wrap it in a stack by right-clicking and adding a stack. And I'm going to call this navigation. And I'm just going to put it to the top of my website. So I'm going to just move it on the left layers panel up to below the desktop. And then what I can do on the right panel is I can set the position to fixed, which is what I need for basically all navigations. I'm going to pin it to the top, left and right with 0 pins. I'm going to set the height, maybe fixed 65 pixels. This is perfect, but I don't think that I need this little logo in the center, so I'm going to just left align it. It's going to be super simple. I just have to come here to the right panel, to the layout settings, and I have to set the distribute to start. And as you can see now, it's right here. However, I don't really like that it's touching the edges, so I'm going to set padding on the right, 24, 24 on the left and on the right as well. So now we have our little navigation, looks pretty cool. And at this point, we can just grab the sphere button. I will just press Command and X to cut it. And then maybe I can also just start Keystroke Pro so you can see my shortcuts. And then I'm going to just select the content frame in the center of my website and press Command and V on my keyboard to kind of paste it here. And that's basically it. If we now go into preview with this little play button, you can see that it works perfectly. The little button has the hover state and yeah, everything works perfectly. So at this point, we can create another page where we're going to have the form. So to super easily do that, I can just duplicate the page here. So if you're on the starter page, just duplicate the starter. Right now I'm on home, so I'm going to duplicate this. And then I'm going to call this form tutorial. So you can call your page form. And I'm going to just remove the button. And instead of the button, we're going to have the form here. So I think that's it inside of Framer. If we click start, we're going to move on to the page that we created. So we can also set up the link on the right panel. So we're going to go to form tutorial page. But now, as you can see, nothing is here. So we have to create a form that we will put here. So now let's move into Tally and create our little form. So I'm going to open my browser and I'm going to go to tally.so. You can do the same or just use the first link in the description and create an account for completely free. And once you created your account, you're going to see something like this. This is kind of like your dashboard where you can create your forms. So this is what I'm gonna do. But by the way, before we start, like if you don't know what Tally is, I think I already told it, but yeah, it's something that you can use to create forms really easily. Like, it's kind of like the simplest way to create forms. And you probably already filled out a tele form in your life, because I think like over 1 million creators are using tele, which is quite impressive. So yeah, basically that's what tele is. So let's create our form. I'm going to click on the top right, new form, and our form is created. And you can see that what we see here is not your usual form builder. It looks like a document. And this is why I said it's super simple to create these forms, because it's literally just like writing a document. So let's actually see what our form title is here. It's Let's Kickstart Our Project. So we can just write that here. Let's kickstart our project. Perfect. And then we can either start with a template, which is very useful when you're new to something. So maybe you can just browse these and maybe they're going to have a form template for what you exactly need. But in this case, I'm just going to start from complete scratch. And as you can see, it's really like a document. I could just start typing to create these little answers, which are actually questions, not answers. So first one is what's your name? So let's do that. First, I'm going to just do a little slash, and then I'm going to search for short answer. I'm going to click that. And with that, I created a question, and I can just type it in. What's your name? It's that easy, basically. If you click here, you can get like more details into this question. You can mark it required or not required, and you can have, you can set up a bunch of settings here, but we don't really need this right now. So I'm gonna just press enter on my keyboard or just move down with my arrow keys, and I can start adding new questions here. So the next question is gonna be email address. So with this, we're just getting information about our potential client. So I'm gonna search for email address. Then we're gonna add another one, which is gonna be, what are you looking for? So here we are gathering the project type. So it's either framework website, web app, or other. So this is actually called multiple answer or multiple, I don't even remember, to be honest. Multiple choice, okay. So here we're gonna write, what are you looking for? And we can just add all the options here. So framework website, web app, and other. And we're gonna see something really interesting here, because later on the next step here, I actually have to fill out all these in order to go to the next step. So on this next step here, this input right here is actually gonna be conditional. So if we select framework website, it is visible, but if we select web app, for example, you can see it's no longer visible. So we're gonna be able to create really cool things with Tele in just a second. But now we created our first step in the form. So how do we create the next step? Well, we just have to create a new page. So I can just do /page, and I can just create a new page here. As you can see, page 2 has been created. I can also rename it to maybe project details. And I can just add new inputs here. So maybe let's do long answer actually. I think it's gonna be a long answer. And you can see here, I have, can you share more information about your project? ASD. So what is ASD? Well, it is your answer from this first question. So if I type in Nandi here, as you can see, it's gonna get Nandi here, which is absolutely amazing, isn't it? So can you share more information about your project, Nandi? I'm gonna just actually copy this and paste it here. And then how do we get the first question's answer? Well, we just type in @ and then we can just select the question that we want to source from. So it's going to be what's your name? And that's basically it. I can type in the question mark after that, and it should be good. You might be asking, what if they're not filling out that field? Well, it is required, so they should fill it out. But just in case, we can click this and we can add default value, maybe brother. Great, cool. We can move on to the next one, which is gonna be, what's the project deadline? But that's not true, because if framework website is selected, we're gonna have, do you already have the design? Which is super, like, it's related to Framer. If you want a Framer website, I wanna know if you already designed it in Figma and you just want a development, or you need both the design and development as well. So this is quite handy to have in here. So we're gonna create this, and then we're gonna make that conditional logic. So you're gonna see how simple it is. So first of all, do you already have the design? We're gonna do that. Actually, what I can do to speed up this process is I can select this, press Command C, and then press Command V here. And as you can see, it's pasted in, super simple. And I can again just copy the question, paste it in here. And here we're gonna have either no, I don't have the design. So no, I don't have the design, or yes, I already have the design. Perfect. You might be asking, Nandi, how did you put these right next to each other? Again, it's like writing a document. You just put it here, and now it's right next to each other. Super easy. So that's that. But now we might be thinking about how can we actually make that conditional logic? Well, let me show you. We have to put it after the field and on the page where we had, you know, the source of the condition. So basically we are basing the condition on the answer that we give to this question. So below this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just type slash and then conditional logic. So here is like, again, really easy. If what are you looking for is not Framer website, then hide blocks, and then we're just gonna select the do you have the design. And that's it. That's basically it. And if you think about it, this is gonna work perfectly. Because if someone is not selecting the Framer website, let's say they select the web app, we actually wanna hide this block right here. It's referring to the question or to the input as a block. So yeah, we're hiding that block if the answer here is not a Framer website. Perfect. So that's really great. And in fact, we can actually go to the top right preview and see if it actually works. So here in the preview, I can also just, you know, select Framer website and just continue anyway, which is pretty good. And you can see that I can see it here. Do you already have the design? Question is visible. If I go back and I select web app instead, we'll see it's no longer visible. Conditional logic working perfectly. So let's get back to the editor and add a few more questions like what's the project deadline? As you can see, it's just similar setup. So I can just select this one, press Command D on my keyboard, and now it's duplicated. Easy. Let's copy and paste this right here. Lovely. And then here we're going to have 3 options, which is going to be in the next 30 days. And then I can also just duplicate this with Command and D, grab and put it here. 60, 90 days. And then we're going to have 120 plus days. Perfect. We have the deadline question, and now on to the budget. So let's duplicate this block again. Paste this in, and the first one is gonna be 10K. Next one is gonna be 25K, and the last one will be 50K. Lovely. Okay, perfect. So this is gonna be the project details step. Now we're creating the next step in our form. So slash page, create that new page, which is gonna be relevant files. So here we're asking about, you know, if they have anything to upload. We can just do a file upload here. And so let me see, what did I have here? Any documents you'd like to share. Okay, any documents you'd like to share. I'm gonna also make this not required because, you know, if they don't want to share anything, that they don't have to. And what I can also do here is I can just press enter and I can just type in something here, which is going to be this little helper text. And if I, you know, select the text, I can also like change the color. I can format this however I want it to format it. So like, this is really like a document. Actually, I haven't showed you, but you can also add like headings. You can also add dividers, images, videos, audio. It's almost like a website in itself. So yeah, it's pretty good. So that's great. I think we have kind of completed our form. The last step might be still missing, which is the thanks for all the information. So let's create that as well. /page. And here we're going to actually set it as a thank you page. So this is what we're going to see after clicking submit here. So I'm going to just do an H2 here and then write this. We'll be in touch soon. Perfect. Looking good. So as you can see, in just a couple of minutes, we've put together a pretty complex form with conditional logic. We also were able to mention an answer from a previous question in one of our questions. And then we also had, conditional logic and file uploads, which is pretty cool. And we've done it in just a couple of minutes again. But this is not all, by the way. Like, you can customize this whole thing. You can add logos here. You can add covers. You can customize the whole appearance, the colors, the padding, the sizes, like the font, everything is customizable. And there are also a bunch of integrations like with Notion. So if someone fills out this form, all the answers are going into your Notion, into one of your databases, which is again pretty good. And yeah, you can also integrate with payments, so you can accept payments in your forms. It's just crazy, isn't it? So feel free to go crazy with these forms. Okay, so at this point, we can just go to the top right and publish our form. And here we immediately see that we have a link for this form. And this is something that we're gonna copy. And now we can go back inside of Framer and to our form page to actually put the form here somehow. So you might be thinking that, oh, we're gonna have to do a bunch of complex stuff like writing code and doing crazy things in order to get that form here. But actually, it's almost too simple. Like, we just have to launch the Tally plugin. It's the official Tally plugin. You can access it here with this little button on the bottom, and you can just search for Tally here. You can launch a plugin, and then you just type in the link or paste the link in that we copied from here, if you remember. Just paste it in, and you can either show or hide the title, align it to the left or to the center, and show or not show the background. That's it. And then you click Embed Form, and as you can see, it is right here on our website, fully integrated. As you can see, it was pretty much a seamless experience putting this here. So I can just select the form, and in order to make sure that it's responsive, all I have to do is just set the width to fill. And if everything else is set up correctly, it should be, filling up the available width of the website. As you can see, it's fully responsive. So now in theory, we have a website where we click a little button, we go to another page where we can fill out a form, and that's basically it. I think that we can make this a little bit more, better, or look a little bit cooler by adding an appear effect to the form. So when we actually go to the form page, it has an animation. So I'm going to go to the form page. I'm going to select the Tally component that we've just placed here. And on the right, I'm going to create an appear effect. So here, I'm just going to animate it from the bottom. So let's move it down 30. And then I'm going to scale it up slightly. So it's going to scale down. It's coming in from a scaled up version. And I'm just going to tweak the transition, maybe 0.7 time. That's going to have an easing curve, perhaps something like this. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And so when we land on this site, it's going to have this effect, which is going to be much nicer. Actually, what we can also do is we can just set the delay here so that it waits a little bit before actually animating itself. So we can now just go to the top right corner, click publish, and our site is live on internet. Crazy, isn't it? So I'm just going to click here, open it up, and let's test it out. So I'm going to just click start. As you can see, the form animates in perfectly. It's like such a nice cohesive experience here inside of Framer. And we don't and this is what I love about this. We don't have to leave Framer to go to the Tally website to fill out the form or anything. We have everything here on our Framer website. So let's fill this out. nandi@gmail.com. I need a Framer website, of course. We're gonna click next. Yes, I can share more information. Do you already have the design? We are seeing this because we picked Framer website. This is a conditional little question here. Let's say I don't have the design. What's the deadline? What's the budget? Next. Any documents? Well, I don't want to upload any documents. And then I can just click submit. Thanks for all the information. And that's it. Such a great experience inside of Framer. And now you might be wondering, how does it actually look on the backend instead of Tally when you're getting these submissions? So let's take a quick look at that. As you can see, this is the form that we published. If we go to the summary, we can see like a summary of all the information that was, put into this form, which is kind of like analytics, I guess. You can see the percentage of responses here and stuff. So that's pretty good. And if you go to submissions, you can just see, submissions in kind of like a Google Sheets format, which is also pretty good. As you can see, you can also download a CSV file, which is great. And you actually get unlimited submissions. I don't want to be like, I love everyone, but Framer actually limits you to a few submissions. So Tally is pretty great. Like for free, you get unlimited submissions. Pretty good. So that's basically it, I think. So yeah, if you have any questions about Tally or using Tally inside of Framer or anything related to this video, make sure to drop a comment. I'm going to do my best to help you out. And yeah, also, again, try out Tally. I'm going to have a link in the description, first link in the description. Click that, create an account for completely free. I also have another link in the description for Framer.university. Another really great website if you're looking for Framer resources and tutorials for completely free. Everything is free. So yeah, that's it for this video. Make sure to like it. Pay me with a like, please. And yeah, subscribe for more. I'm gonna see you in the next one.